Hello, welcome to Frank's School. I'm going on with my imaginary movie called Resurrection. Resurrection, the movie. This is the 9th video I've devoted to that, and finally I'm going to be getting all the characters introduced, all the main characters introduced. But first of all, I want to go back to character number 5, I guess it was, number 5. The woman who walked from Tomah. Well, she should also, I think, go by a place called Foz d'Egua. I've never been there. The Hawklings and I were going to go there. It was part of the plan, but we started late that day, and we finally, after we got to the Braga de Pena, which was that waterfall, we decided that was lovely and we should now head back. We were also on our way to Piodão, it's called. If you ever get to Piodão, if you ever get to that part of Portugal, I really think you should try to get there, but you'll have to be renting a car to get there. Anyway, Foz d'Egua is a lovely. I've only seen it in pictures, but it's a confluence where two streams come together, and there's a double stone bridge, and she should walk by there too. I mean, this is bigger than life. Movies tend to be that way, and I'm pulling something from Galicia, and these things would not normally be within walking distance, but that's okay. I mean, one of the things for the movie that I imagine, that one of the things it requires is that it must be beautiful. It has to be just a feast of beauty. And these would be opportunities to share the beauty of water in Portugal, and Galicia is not far from Portugal. All right. Anyway, back to the old man's eyes, and once again he looks into the distance. But and this is as a transition. It'll be about the 3rd or 4th time this has happened. But I think I would have to be not too heavy-handed with these transitions. I think sometimes a movie can try so hard to be artistic that it draws attention to the effort at being artistic. So, I'd be a little careful with that. But still, I think it would be important to do that for reasons I haven't told you yet. All right, the last two characters, main characters, they come as a couple. And both of them can share the leitmotif of Earth. As a matter of fact, the camera, maybe the first shot should be of Earth itself, and hands maybe in the earth, in the soil. And then it can come back and you can see that it's a woman and a man. And they're among a group of friends. So this could be, all of a sudden, this could be quite different. I mean, I somehow imagine 10, 15 people there, maybe 20 friends that are all kind of together. And what they are is a group of woofers, QV, go check it out. Woofers, I may not even spell this right, it's Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms, volunteers that go to organic farms. You could look this up. It's quite a worldwide thing, and people do this. They go and they work for free for their keep. They'll work on an organic farm. Well, that's where they are, but they're leaving it. Another thing you could look into is permaculture. And I want to tell you that when I was looking at this myself, thinking a little bit about doing it myself, or hosting, which I may still do, I noticed that there was a concentration of woofers in not only Europe, but in the Iberian Peninsula, and not only that, in Portugal, and not only in Portugal, in the center of Portugal. And I wondered, why is that? Is it one of the first reasons that I decided I'm going to rent a car and drive up into those mountains? I wanted to know what was going on. Why were woofers drawn toward that? And I'm not sure anybody else has noticed that yet. I don't know. I even contacted the head of woofing in Portugal, because I told him I was interested in filming what was going on. At first he was all excited because he thought this was going to be big money, and when he realized it was just a matter of my own personal research, he wasn't so excited. But anyway, that's what it would be. And they would be at a quinta, also called a quintal, which is probably the reason why there's so many there, because the quintas are, land is cheap there, and there's a history of these quintas. A quinta is a small farm, sort of small holding, is what you'd have to call it in English. Maybe 10 acres. But the thing about a quinta in Portugal makes it so special to me, and elsewhere I've talked a lot about this. As a matter of fact, the city of Braga in Portugal, Braga, Shirley and I went there to see a quinta right in the city that is maintained for children, so the children could learn about this Portuguese history of garden/farming in Portugal. The pedagogical Quinta Pedagógica de Braga, I think, of the pedagogical Quinta of Braga, which you can see if you look into. Maybe someday I'll just give a whole lot of links for somebody that wants to pursue this. Anyway, that's called polyculture, where they grow a lot of different species in a very small area. Polyculture. That's the word I learned. Now, permaculture is another word which I've never been too fond of. The word permaculture. I don't know. Ever since I discovered it back in the 70s, I think, and I just never liked the word very much. But anyway, it would be another way of of seeing what I'm talking about. Anyway, they're on a quinta. This couple, a man and a woman. The woman and they're leaving it among friends. The friends are wishing them well, but they're leaving. The woman is small. She's dark. She should be Portuguese. I think there's a U in here. It goes, and her leitmotif is a violin. In my mind, for now, I'm going to base her on the woman who was my guide, my docent, at the National Ethnology Museum in Lisbon. Lovely, a young woman that was patiently waited while I filmed everything, which again, I've told all about this elsewhere in my course. I won't give her name, but anyway, because for one reason I associate her with a cow cart, because I filmed a lot of cow carts and plows in that, in that museum. And the man that's with her, he's sort of Viking-like. She's small. I wouldn't have him huge and muscled. The black guy can be that way, but he's maybe long blonde hair. Fair-skinned, so he looks like he's from Norway or something. Anyway, and his timbre is a viola. Hers is a violin, and I think they could share a leitmotif along with Earth. And then when they leave on foot with a cow cart. Now a cow cart, and I don't say ox cart because in Portugal they're usually cows. A cow with the cow's calf, and the cow is harnessed in, yoked in, and these carts are small, but they're going to leave. It should probably be real early in the morning, and they're going to leave the quinta that way. And I think that's far enough to go today. Bye.